What's up, Conroe High? I'm Deontay, and welcome to the Real Talk KTIG's talk show. Today we will have 3 special guests from graphic design here to talk to us a little about what graphic design is and what the class is also like. So stay tuned for today's edition of Real Talk. Once again today, we would like to welcome our special guest panel. Let's start by first welcoming Ms. Scaletta.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Scaletta. I teach Graphic Design 1, Graphic Design 2, and Digital Art and Animation, and I've been a teacher here at Conroe High School for 8 years.
And next up we have Garrett.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I'm a junior, and I'm in band, Graphic Design 2, of course. I'm the Leo Club president, and I'm our mascot.
And lastly, we have Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I'm a junior as well, and I do graphic design. I don't really do anything after school, but art is pretty much my side gig.
So now that you know who's here, let's start out with this. What is graphic design?
Well, graphic design is visual communication. We are brainstorming, collaborating, coming up with different ideas to create a visual message for a client, whether it be a logo, a t-shirt design, a business card, or even a sign on the highway.
Would you like to add on to that, Garrett?
Yeah, and graphic design can help add information to something you're reading on, say like on an article or in a travel pamphlet for like an exotic location of some sort.
Sam?
Another thing you can do is you're trying to touch people emotionally, so you use graphic design to do that as well.
So what things do you learn in class?
Well, we mostly learn how we can elevate our skills and try and hone in on communicating with not only just our clients, but to people of all types. So you gotta have to know your audience and know certain techniques to use.
Sam?
What else we learn? I don't know, I'll pass it on to her.
So that's basically what they're learning. They're learning the Adobe Creative Suite, Illustrator, Photoshop is our primary focus, and we learn how to use those tools for faster production for client ideas.
So basically just how to critique your ideas or just craft your ideas to better.
Yeah, it's taking the drawing from paper to digital.
So what certifications could you get while taking this class?
So the certifications we offer right now is Adobe Certified Associate in Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign. We are working on After Effects, but that'll probably be next year.
So what is your favorite part about this class, you would say?
Communication with people, communicating. From first year, you get to know people, right? It's all quiet, but you have to make the first step. Another thing is once you get to your second year, that's when you start bonding with your peers even more. And if you can bond with your peers, you can bond with clients, right? Because you have to get to know each other to make a design, right? So yeah, that's my favorite part.
What would you say?
For me, I've enjoyed some of the projects we've done. One of my favorites was the stippling poster that we did. And it's basically art with dots, and you have to pay attention to the values. What parts need to be lighter on the image, what parts need to be darker to make shadows and different shapes and whatnot. And we did it this year. We were going to do it last year, but because of COVID, that didn't really happen. So the project took about 3 weeks, and it went into our last semester average.
And real quick, Ms. Coletta, could you tell us what your favorite part is?
My favorite part is the students. I love interacting with them, having conversations with them, and teaching them my passion. That's got to be my favorite part, and to watch them take a project that they didn't want to do, they didn't want to start it, they didn't have any interest in it, and develop it into a phenomenal piece that's actually award-winning or sold to a client. Because we do have real-life clients come in, and right now with COVID we don't, but they usually come in and look for a business logo or some help with their website and some other side designs that will have students get the opportunity to create. And so that's always really fun.
Thanks so much for sharing, guys. Next up, we will talk about the challenges of graphic design, and right after this.
Before you think of copying and pasting that quote from an educational website. Before you think of using your notes to cheat on a test. Before you share the answers to your friends for the up-and-coming test. Just remember, it's better to fail the test rather than to have a 0 for cheating. Think more before you cheat on your work.
Welcome back, guys. Now we want to shift a little and talk about the challenges of graphic design. So Sam, what is the most challenging part about this class?
I think the most challenging part is actually starting, right? Like, you have so many ideas, but how do you narrow it down? Well, that's where you have to pretty much use your flow. You have to flow into the design, right? Yeah.
You basically just try to put pen to paper and you just make up a bunch of different sketches, whether they have minimal change or drastic change between each one, and you just narrow it down to whichever one you like, and it follows the client's specifications.
And as a teacher, what would you think is the most challenging part?
I think for the students, to watch them get started. It's hard to get that first idea down, and then from there it can take off. And I think what Sam was saying is just reiterating different ideas and how it could be better and how they could improve and how it's going to meet the target audience needs and the communication needs. As a teacher, the hardest part is timing. I mean, we have students who get it really fast and they're done, and then we have some students it takes a while to understand things. So it's a fun challenge.
That's pretty cool. So Garrett, what is like the most challenging part of actually making the design in the class?
I would say if you're first starting out, it's definitely, once you get into Illustrator and Photoshop, you don't really know where to go and where everything is. So you have to kind of get that outside help, look up stuff online. But once you get the flow of it down, navigating the different programs doesn't become the hard part. It's mainly just making sure your idea is original, because sometimes you could be copying off of somebody without even realizing it. So you can look up stuff on the internet to get inspiration, but don't copy exactly what they do and kind of have your own original twist.
Your own little swag to it. I see what you're saying. So Sam, what is the most challenging part of actually designing it for you?
I think it's meeting the criteria of your client. That's the hard part, because you might have all these great ideas, but if the client doesn't like it, shoot, it's gone, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest ones.
So in the real world, work with clients, have you had any experience in making graphics for clients?
I have.
You have?
Yes.
No, not yet. Not on my end.
I'll go into detail.
Okay.
So I did a design for the EFTA poster competition. I was surprised I won. That was hard because you had to meet the criteria. The criteria was to make a design on an orange shirt. You don't see that often, right? Mm-hmm. So I sketched, drafted, and I still didn't get anywhere. It was like one of those things where there's a wall, right? And to get over that wall, I had to just get into the zone one day. And then one day, quick sketch, it clicked, right? And that's when I started designing. It took me a while, but I got it, right? And the end result was really cool. I'm pretty satisfied. I'm not totally in love with it, but I think I did a pretty good job. And then once they announced that I was the winner, it was like, whoa, that was my first time, right? That was the very first time. And I think I do have the knack for graphic design. I just need to expand on it a little more. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So the challenges in graphic design are just super crazy. Next up, let's take a look on what's going on here at Conroe High School.
If you are interested in joining a UIL academics team this spring, scan the QR code for the event you would like to join. Events include math and number sense, science, current events, journalism, speech and debate, computer science, ready writing, literary criticism, and spelling vocab. We wanted to say a big congrats to Coach K for being chosen for this week's Teacher of the Week. He was nominated by Cheyenne Fischel. Make sure to go to KTIGnews.com to nominate your favorite teacher. This week's College of the Week is the University of Texas Tyler. UT Tyler is one of the many college systems that are part of the University of Texas system. The University of Texas at Tyler offers majors in nursing, business, engineering, arts and sciences, pharmacy, pre-med, and teacher education. Although it is part of the UT system, the university prides itself on maintaining a smaller student-to-professor ratio, with class sizes around 19 students each. The university itself has an enrollment of less than 10,000 students. UT at Tyler offers around 100 student organizations and has 17 NCAA athletic teams. If you choose to attend UT at Tyler, you will have a unique college experience full of passion, community, and opportunity. Check out this video.
To close out today's show, we wanted to talk about the future because the future is always what's moving on next. So how will you take what you learned forward to the future?
I think I'll take it with me no matter what happens, whether I use it in a career sense or just as a hobby. But I think all these skills will be great in the future life I will have, hopefully.
I think graphic design saves a lot of things for me because I would love to start my own little business, right? Or a little shop, right? But I don't want to pay a graphic designer to do all my designs. I can do that now. So I think that's one of the good things. Another thing that I will take on into the future is like for schoolwork, because especially like Google presentations, I've noticed that now that I know graphic design, my quality is way better. The whole presentation looks good. It's like it flows, right? So that's another thing that I will take into the future, of course.
So what do you see in the future for your class?
I definitely every day am developing and trying to grow the program. I take student feedback really seriously, and hearing to say what they like and what challenges are, it helps me as a teacher make a better class and to evolve it.
What skills will you leave this class with?
I'm hoping to leave with as much Photoshop and Illustrator techniques as I possibly can, just because I feel like it's nice to know more than just one thing. If you get a better sense of knowing a bunch of different things, you don't have to just stick to exactly doing one thing. You can kind of spread out, do your own thing, have a more creative background.
So what would you say to students who might be interested in attending graphic design?
I think one of the biggest things is you don't have to be good at art to join this class. That I learned so far. You have to have the creativity, yes, because some people don't know how to draw, but they have the creativity. So this class gives them the chance to develop more skills and even potentially art skills as well, right? Another thing I would suggest to kids is that yes, it's an easy class, but sometimes it does get challenging. And you have to surpass those walls, right? Because, yeah, you'll get no's, but once you get that yes, it's really satisfying. So, yeah.
Well, that is all the time we have for Real Talk today. Guests, thank you so much for being with us today to talk about graphic design. Viewers, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned to KTIG's YouTube channel for another episode of Real Talk coming soon. And don't forget, Conroe High School, be the reason someone smiles today.